Good morning, everybody. Our lesson for today is about communication, which is entitled Responding to Good News and Responding to Bad News. Lesson objective. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to learn and use some expressions to respond to good news or bad news. First, look at the pictures and say the feeling each person is having. So, A. How does he look? And B. How does she look? Okay. Who heard good news and who heard bad news? A or B? Then, before you move to this slide, you have to wait a bit. And we have A heard good news, B heard bad news. Right? Okay, let's move on. Look at the following sentences or expressions and see how the news is revealed. In the first picture, you have, today I have received a very good news for my life. So I want to tell someone out there who wants to archive something so bad and you try to follow your instinct. Believe me, it will work. So this person is telling us the good news that she has got, which is to be positive. And in the second picture, you can see a patient and the doctor. The doctor is telling the patient, I have some fake news and some bad news. Which would you like first? The man said, the bad news, please. Doctor, you have cancer. Patient, oh my God. Doctor, but hey, cancer is just a hoax. Man, really? Doctor, many people are saying. So, saying bad news, you have the expression, I have some bad news. So, and in responding to each type of news, we use particular expressions like, oh my God, in the given picture. Now, listen to the conversation between the family members and the answers. And answer the true or false question. Here is the link of the video. Take some time, watch the video. If you don't understand it or if something went wrong with you, just repeat listening before you start answering the questions. Take your time, okay, before you move to the next slides. Okay, the question that is the true false question you have to answer is 1. Family used or the family used to live in Australia. So when you hear the video or when you listen to the video, you will know whether the family lived or didn't live in Australia before. Second exercise, listen again and fill the following table with the required information. So, information you need to have is expressing good news, responding to good news, expressing bad news, and responding to bad news. Again, here, you need to take some time before you move to the next slide. Okay. Here are the answers to the question. So, in expressing good news, in the dialogue, you have, your father has something important to tell you. Well, I got a new job. And the good news is that the new job is in Australia. The response or responses to good news are, great, Dad. So we'll be together again. Yippee! These are the answers or responses to good news. And now the bad news is expressed in the sentence. There is some bad news. You'll have to change your school, right? Response: oh no. What's the bad news? Huh? Really? Right? Exercise number 3. Try to add more expressions to the table. Okay? Now, there is another exercise. Here you have two people, Kathy and Paul. Paul has received the message that his mother died lately, and Kathy is talking about something that is good which had happened to her, which means that she got a promotion in work or at work. Now, what you should do is to read the messages from 1 to 10 and say whether each message is for Paul or is for Kathy by ticking the right box. Okay, again here you need to take 5 to read the messages and to give your answers before you move to the next slide. Right? Okay, we move. So here are the answers. We have the first sentence is for Kathy, second is for Paul, third is for Paul again, the fourth one is for Kathy, the fifth is for Kathy, the sixth is for Paul, seventh is for Paul, and eighth is for Kathy, ninth is for Kathy, and the 10th is for Paul. Okay, now as you are reading the sentences, I'm not going to read sentence number 1 because I cannot see it on my phone. I'm going to read directly sentence number 2, and in sentence number 2 we're going to stress the expressions that are used to express a response to bad news or good news. Okay, right, let's move on to the table. We have here, you have to read each sentence and write the expressions that are used to express good news and the expressions that are used to respond to bad news. As I told you in the preceding activities, you need to take some time before you move to the next slide so that you do the exercises yourselves, then you watch the answers. So here are the answers. Expressions used to respond to bad news in the sentences are: great news, you deserve it. Congratulations. Happy to hear that you were promoted. Fantastic. Nice to hear that you've been appointed senior manager in that important company. Expressions used to respond to bad news. Please accept our deepest sympathy. Our deepest sympathy go the death. Okay, for, it's not go here, it's for the death of your mother. It's a mistake, sorry. With heartfelt sympathy and understanding thoughts in this time of sadness, my heart is saddened by the death of your mother. My deepest sympathy is with you. You'll be in my thoughts and prayers. Next. Exercise number 6. Respond to the following situations. You have situation number 1. Your Paul got the best grade in her school. Situation number 2. Your American friend John had a terrible accident. He is now at the hospital. And number 3. Your Paul has just got a scholarship to pursue his studies in an important university. So, situation number 1, it's a good news. You have to say a response that we have seen, or to supply more another expression that you know already. And situation number 2, it's bad news. Situation number 3 is also good news, like situation number 1. Again, take some time, 5 or 10. If you want to answer all the situations, you can take 5 minutes or 7 minutes to write the answers in a sheet of paper. Then you move to the next slide. In this slide, you have the answers to the questions of the situations. They are just suggestions, possible answers. Situation number 1, it's great that you nailed it. And situation number 2, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. I hope you recover soon. And situation number 3, that's awesome. You're such a brilliant, hardworking person. Now, in exercise number 7, look at the pictures and try to imagine the situation you have to write about. Then write a mini dialogue telling the good or bad news and responding to them. Okay, I am going to leave you here waiting for your responses to the exercise number 7. I would like to receive it written by tomorrow. Good luck.